to my channel. Today's video is starting off with a bare face because we're going to be doing my everyday makeup routine. So I asked you guys on Snapchat what videos you'd like to see this week, and this was the most popular one. So thank you to everyone who took the time to participate. So I'm just going to get right on into it. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. I'd love to know in the comments section what some of your everyday go-to makeup products are. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already because I would love you to be part of my YouTube family. So let's do this. Now, so on an everyday makeup basis, I like to have a pretty flawless base, so I keep it really simple on the eyes, but I go pretty full coverage with my base makeup. This may not be everyone's cup of tea, but this is just what I like doing, so I'm going to show you what I use and how I do it. Guys, I always start off by using my MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime Water. This stuff is amazing and it just makes my skin feel really hydrated and just prepared to start popping on all those products. So I just like to go in and really drench myself. So I do colour correct daily, just depending on what is happening with my skin will depend on how much colour correction I actually do. But without fail, every day I always colour correct my under eye circles because they are quite purple, and if I don't colour correct I do notice a big difference in my concealing. So my favourite product to colour correct with is actually the Cover FX Peach Corrector. So if I have a lot of breakouts or a lot of redness like I do today, then I will always go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the green shade. So it is important to remember that if you are using this to help conceal pimples, that you don't use the actual applicator directly on the pimple because you can contaminate the product, which means that when you use it again, you might actually cause more breakouts. So I just like to squirt some of this on my finger first and then dab it over any of the areas that I want to get that extra coverage and color correct any redness. And then over here where I just have this sort of pigment on my cheek, you can just use the applicator directly on it. And then it's time for foundation. So my favourite foundation to use is a Revlon Photo Ready foundation in the shade 004 Nude. This is my fake tan shade. So what I like to do is actually put about 2 pumps onto a hard surface. This is just a powder, a loose powder container. And I like to go ahead and just stipple it across my face with my finger first. And then I like to work in sections, so I don't apply it all over my face. I just like working in sort of like half-half. And then my favorite brush at the moment for applying foundation is my Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. So they actually are having a 30% off Memorial Day sale. So I'll link all the details in the description box for you guys. So if you're wanting to pick up some Sigma brushes at a discounted price, then make sure you check my description box. Because I have a lot of sort of peach fuzz on my face as well, I always drag my foundation down my face. I don't like to buff it in circular motions. I just like to swipe it down my face to sort of flatten out any of that peach fuzz. So on an everyday basis, I like using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light. It is a lot more yellow based than what the shade Fair Clair is. So I use Fair Clair when I want to get that more sort of defined highlight, but when I'm just looking for just concealing purposes, I'm a little bit more subtle look, then I just go for the shade Light. And I just like to start blending it out with my finger. And then to set my under eye circles and the rest of my face, I've been loving the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Ethereal Light. As you can see, it is a very light powder and is a very light reflective powder. So when you use it on your face and light hits your face, it helps to reflect and diffuse your skin nicely, so it can give the illusion of more flawless skin. So for setting it under my eyes, I always use my Morphe E48 brush. And to set the rest of my face, I like using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Light, and I like using my Morphe E41 powder brush, and I just simply swirl the brush around in the product, and I just stipple it across the rest of my face. Now for my brows, I don't really do too much with them at all. I just like running a pencil through them, and at the moment I'm using the Australis Brow Pencil in the shade Light Brown. So my brows might not look like much when they're both finished, but you can see the before and after now. This one's done, this one's not. It just gives it a lot more definition and sort of structure to the brow shape. So on an everyday basis, I like using powder products to bronze up my face, and blushes and everything like that. I try to stay away from cream contouring and anything like that on an everyday basis. So at the moment, my favorite palette to reach for is the Gwen Stefani and Urban Decay Blush Palette collaboration. This palette is so amazing, guys. I've owned it for ages and only recently started using it the last month, and I absolutely love every single shade out of it. The bronzer shade is incredible, and you guys would know Hoola is my other favorite bronzer, and at the moment I'm liking this bronzer shade more than I like Hoola, so that says something. So my favorite brush to contour with is the Morphe E58 brush. Now it's a little bit different to your usual angled brush, so this is their normal angled brush, which is the E4, and as you can see, it has a much denser, wider face of the brush, if that makes any sense at all. So I just find it's a lot easier to pack on product without having to drag it all over your face and like risk disturbing your foundation and everything, because sometimes I have a problem with that, with my foundation slipping around my face. So this brush is like amazing. So what I do is I just dab it into the bronzer and I literally pat the product onto my skin. And then around my forehead, I do a little bit more brushing motions. And then for a bit more of a subtle everyday blush, I like using the shade Hush in this palette, which I'm not sure if it's meant to be a blush shade or a highlighter, but for me personally, it is just a really beautiful iridescent pinky color that it comes out on my cheeks. So I like using this, and I like using it as a blush topper as well. So a lot of times I'll use this one or this one first and then put it over the top. But today I'm just going to start off with putting this straight on the apples of my cheeks. And I'm going to be using the Morphe E4 angled brush to do so.
She told me you'll never be alone. I can feel my face when I'm with you.
And then for highlighter, I'm just going to take the shade Angel out of the same palette on my tapered highlighting brush, and I'm just going to pop it all over the high points of my cheekbones. So on an everyday basis, I usually just wear mascara, but if I'm feeling like I've got enough time and I want to create a little bit more definition to my eyes, I'll use this same palette on my actual eyes. So what I'll do is I'll go in first and just pop some concealer over my lids, just a very little bit just to cancel out sort of some veins, nothing too hectic though. And I'm just going to use my Sigma tapered kabuki to blend that out. All the eye brushes I'm going to be using today are from a brand called Beauty Glamour Box. So I got sent this set. It's actually a 12-piece basic eye set, and it's really amazing value. I will show you every single brush in a haul video coming soon. Then going back in again with my Urban Decay blush palette, I'm going to take the shade Angel, and I'm actually just going to pop that all over my lids. So once I've popped that shimmery shade all over my lid, I'm going to go in with a large fluffy brush from that set and use the bronzer shade just to blend it all throughout my crease. And that is literally all I do for eyeshadow on the eyes. I just pop a bit of that bronzer in the crease and I blend it up to the brow bone. It just helps to create a little bit of dimension to your eye shape. Now I'm going to go in and use my Maybelline Volume Colossal Mascara just to coat my top and bottom lashes. And then I'm just going to pop this nude liner in my waterline. So then I usually only ever wear a lip gloss, but sometimes I like to just line my lips a little bit just so they don't blend with my skin tone too much. And I'm just using a nude lip liner by Face of Australia. And at the moment, my favourite lip gloss is Gerard Cosmetics Buttercream. It is just a really beautiful sort of neutral, nearly kind of pinkish base lip gloss, just really pretty. Except I hate the lights that they have on them. They're so annoying. So guys, this is my finished everyday makeup look. Yes, it is still a lot of makeup for an everyday basis, but I just love nothing more than a flawless base and super simple eyes. So I hope even if this isn't your cup of tea for everyday makeup that you still enjoyed today's video. Please thumbs it up for me if you did, and leave me some comments below because I'd love to chat to you guys. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already because I'd love to see you here next week. So I hope you all have had a fabulous weekend and you have a wonderful week, and I'll be talking to you really soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!
Ever since I left the city, Ever since I left the city. Ever since I left the city. Left the city.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a bit of a house tour slash home decor sort of video.